Hi guys, it's Mrs. Gerd again. We just talked about how to solve a system of equations or to set up a system of equations in three variables, and now we're going to talk about how to solve that same system. So we have the same situation here with the amusement park selling hats, jackets, and t-shirts, and the same three equations we just talked about. So you can see already that I have labeled the equations A, B. This is just so we can tell them apart in these steps that we're going to teach them. So step one is to pick any two equations and eliminate a variable of your choice. So I'm going to pick equations A and B. So equation A was 3h plus j plus 2t equals 140. Equation B was 2h plus 2j plus 2t equals 170. And I'm going to use the process of elimination or linear combination. And I'm going to pick any variable to eliminate. I'm going to choose to eliminate t, simply because they already have the same coefficient. The only thing you need to do is make them opposite signs. So I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by -1. So my top equation stays the same, 3h plus j plus 2t equals 140. On bottom, that -1 distributes into every single term. So -1 times 2h is -2h, -1 times 2j is -2j, -1 times 2t -2t, equals -1 times 170 is -170. And now you're just going to combine these equations. So 3h minus 2h is h, j minus 2j is -j, 2t minus 2t cancels, 140 minus 170 is -30. We're going to name this equation D, because it's a new equation. Step 2 is to pick the third equation, which would be equation C, which is h plus 2j plus 3t equals 180. And one of the equations you've already used. I'm just going to pick equation A, which was 3h plus j plus 2t equals 140. You could use equation B if you wanted to, but I'm just going to use A. Now the key here is you have to eliminate the same variable you did in step 1. So since I eliminated t in step 1, I have to eliminate t here in step 2. So in this case, because it's 3t and 2t, I need to multiply both equations. So I'm going to multiply the top equation by 2 and the bottom equation by -3. Again, distribute those to every term in each equation. So 2 times h, 2h. 2 times 2j is plus 4j. 2 times 3t plus 6t equals 2 times 180 is 360. For the bottom equation, -3 times 3h is -9h. -3 times j is -3j. -3 times 2t minus 6t equals -3 times 140, -420. Same process, combine your equations. 2h minus 9h is -7h. 4j minus 3j is positive j. 6t minus 6t cancels. 360 minus 420 is -60. We're going to call this equation E. So notice through steps 1 and 2, we have created two brand new equations, which leads us to step 3. Step 3, you take the new equations that you just wrote, so equations D and E, and you're going to combine those, similar to how we did in steps 1 and 2. So here's our two equations, equations D and E. Choose to eliminate either one of the two remaining variables, so h or j. In this case, I'm going to choose to eliminate j because the coefficients are already the same number, but opposite signs. So I don't have to multiply either equation in this case. So I'm just going to combine. H minus 7h is -6h. -j plus j cancels. -30 minus 60, negative 90. So equation right now says negative 6h equals negative 90. Solve this for h by dividing by negative 6 to both sides, and we get h equals 15. Now, also in step 3, I need to solve for j as well. So I'm going to go back up to equation D, which is that first equation here. And the value I just got for h, I'm going to substitute that in. So right now I should have an equation that says 15 minus j equals negative 30. To solve this, start by subtracting 15 to both sides. So we have negative j equals negative 45. Divide by the coefficient, which is negative 1. We end up with j equals positive 45. So now in step 3, I have two variables solved for. I have h and j, but we have 3 variables total. So I also need to solve for t. So step 4 is to use one of your original 3 equations. So either equation A, equation B, or equation C. I'm going to choose to use equation A, which was 3h plus j plus 2t equals 140. In this equation, you're going to substitute in the 2 values you solved for in part 3. So h is 15, j is 45. So I get 3 times 15 plus 45 plus 2t equals 140. And in this step, you're going to solve for the remaining variable, which in this case is t. So 3 times 15, 45, plus 45 plus 2t equals 140. Combine your like terms. 45 plus 45 is 90, plus 2t equals 140. Solve by subtracting 90 from both sides. 2t equals 50. Divide by 2. You end up with t equals 25. Now the last step to all this, step 5, is writing your answer in the proper format. If there's no context to the problem, you write it as what's called an ordered triple. And it's an ordered triple instead of an ordered pair because we have 3 variables. So in this case, it always goes in alphabetical order. It would be h, comma, j, comma, t. So in our situation, it would be 15, comma, 45, comma, 25. However, we do have a real life situation here. We're talking about an amusement park selling hats, jackets, and t-shirts. So we need to write our answer to represent what each thing is. Now, if you remember the original word problem, it asked for the cost of each item. So we are going to write some sentences here. Hats, which was H, cost $15 each. Make sure you have that dollar sign on there to represent the unit. Jackets, J, cost $45 each. And finally, t-shirts, which was the T, cost $25 each, which was what the problem wanted. So this is our answer. The ordered triple would look like this. Good luck.